Okay, we'll go ahead and start. I know that some people have questions. We're going to have a kind of a formal press conference here. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
And I will remind everyone that this is being recorded, obviously, because we do have a quorum here, and so you're going to be on TV, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
All right, so there you go. It's all good.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll try to break the ice since this is a new procedure, and
Yes.
Yes.
and I do I actually want to applaud you for doing this. I think that one of my concerns when I was county commissioner was that when you come to a body like this, that a lot of things are discussed legally in meetings that many of us, because of business or other reasons, don't have an opportunity to attend. And that was one of the reasons why early on in my term of office that we changed this procedure of presenting items that were coming before the public to have the sponsors of those items come up and provide the background on that. Some do very well, and some make them a little shorter than I'd like. I'm kind of come from a background like Bobby of being a research analyst and always wanting to ask the who, what, where, how, and when on an item, which I can find now that when we put on the internet the agenda and have access to everything. But it's nice to have it in short explanation come before the public. And now this opportunity to ask other questions is a very, very nice addition. And I guess, Bobby, I'll direct my question to you because, essentially, in your rationale for not voting for this particular regulation, you essentially said that you agreed with it, except for the medical marijuana. And I guess my point is that medical marijuana as such is available to the public in Lewis County. It's not regulated by this regulation. It is, however, the individual growth on their own part for it, rather than putting it as, we had in two legislative sessions ago, there was a decision made that while we were controlling recreational marijuana pretty strongly, that there were virtually no controls over medical, and so they chose to put them together, and I don't think that either community was happy with the way that happened. And so we now do have medical marijuana sold through these facilities, and yes, we're not allowing those sales to take place here, but we haven't really limited the access for those who want to individually grow. Comment?
My statement will stand as it is, and I have no further comment.
So I also want to...
Your name?
My name is Harry Bagwandin. I'm from Onalaska, Washington. And I want to say that I have a great and have had a great working relationship with the county commissioners, being in an unincorporated area. And I applaud your effort to reach out in as many ways as possible to interact with the community. When I ran for county commissioner last term, one of the most common questions I had, I had two common questions. One from our electorate is, what's a county commissioner?
Yes.
Which was surprising to me. And the second question was, oh, I got it. What's a county commissioner do? So if I could ask that just since this is a new medium, if we could give you guys an opportunity to state what your intention is with this forum, so that we can start getting the word out that there's an opportunity my understanding is an opportunity for the public to interface with you guys, ask their questions, and get educated so they can be more of a participant in our governing process. So if you guys could just kind of say what your vision is for this, I think it would be useful. Thank you.
Thanks, Harry, and I do appreciate it. And you're right, though. I do remember those questions. Mm-hmm. And a couple of things I think that one of the things that I've learned over the last 2 years, or actually 3 years probably, closer to, is it's very, very difficult to, every one of our meetings are open to the public, every one of them. And I think that's wonderful. I mean, you would never, ever want any other, you would never want it to turn in any other direction on that. So I look at this for an opportunity of probably the extra time, because we will have it posted now, obviously. This will be the time for the public to come up. And also I am very sympathetic too, because if it were me, I would like to do this at 6 o'clock at night and and schedule it in town meetings, because it's very difficult. People are working. Thank goodness most people are working. So we want transparency. We want everyone to come up and have an opportunity. And I think, and of course I like this, Commissioner Fund has often said this, we want to tell our story. We have nothing to hide, and we're always looking for opportunity to for dialogue back and forth, work for solutions. And I think when we travel about, the county commissioners, when we work and travel around, we hear that. So a lot of the questions or the information that I receive in my office, I receive a lot more questions and hopefully provide information back to them when I go out and talk to Onalaska or Packwood or PL or Mossy Rock. So we're just trying to figure out the best medium to get that out there. We mentioned Facebook. There's opportunity out there now that there wasn't probably 10 years ago even. So I don't think we're on the cutting edge or anything like that. As a matter of fact, for me, the cutting edge of technology, I mean, they talk about Facebook. I'm still just barely there. So, but we got a lot of smart people around, and we work, and I'm excited about this, really. I am. And again, that doesn't mean that we're not going to be available the other 24/7, because we will be. But this is just another opportunity, I think.
And for me, it's another venue, as you said earlier, Commissioner Stamper, for people to know more about us. And I'm hoping people will send in their questions, BOCC@lewiscountywa.gov, and then we can answer them here and post it on Facebook and our website so they can see the answer to their question. And they can hear it, directly from us. So I think it's a wonderful way in which we can interface with our public and have questions answered, and maybe this will grow and we'll have more people here at the press conference.
And one more thing, Commissioner Fund, I would also like to say that most of the time our directors will be here too. So it's not just about us. You will have a chance to talk to budget folks and community development. So I don't know if they knew that or not, but I'm telling you now. So, so anyway, so I appreciate that. Commissioner Jackson?
Everything we do is accessible. We are continually trying to make ourselves accessible to the public, because this is your business. We are tasked with giving leadership to the county and doing the best possible job we can. We want people to know what's going on. We want them to know how the money's being spent. We want them to know what's going on in community development, public works, and those other areas. And every chance we get to help a citizen when they call us with a question, we're trying to get them the answers that they need as quickly as we possibly can. And there's channels that we go through to make sure, whether it's public works or other departments, this venue gives us an opportunity to take that to another level. And just the fact that we have Lee is here and Steve and Becky are here. Dave is here, Dave Anderson from 911. I see Archie sitting back here. These are some of our directors and our managers. They can be here to answer questions as well, because we want the involvement of the county. We want people to be involved in the process because this is their county. This is their courthouse, and we are their representatives. So the more involved we can kind of bring them along, with the understanding that everybody works, hopefully, and that not everybody can get here at 10 o'clock in the morning to listen to what's being said and done. So this is another alternative for us to use so that we can provide more information for our county.
I would just like to make one more comment. The other thing too, and I have heard this, and again, the directors and staff members have heard this come from me more than a few times, but people have often asked me this, the commissioners, as commissioners, you have two other commissioners, you talk you probably have conversation all the time. That is absolutely not the truth. We very rarely, unless there's something going on, it's a public function where it might be something, are you going to be attending tonight or something, or give them a message. But whenever it's county business, whenever we are speaking about county business, we don't talk about it. The only time we ever converse about it is when we are in a meeting, in a public meeting where there is a note taker, the minutes are taken, and so I want to make that very clear. And again, I personally, I think it's phenomenal. And I will tell you, Harry, we talked about, some of the questions. I mean, I knew that, but I didn't really know that, probably. The fact that, hey, you commissioners probably talk all the time to one another. That's not the case. And so I learned that very quickly. And from past commissioners, too, that have set the bar fairly high. So we make sure that that's out there, and I want to get that out there to everyone that's in the audience at this point. And we do have some media people.
Questions?
Aaron, Susan, and we thank you guys for being here. And I know that everyone has busy schedules because we do have meetings every day, well, Monday through Wednesday anyway, and then probably on Thursday. And I know that you guys also have jobs to do too. So again, that's not to say that we're not going to be available, obviously, because we will as continued, but this is just another opportunity for us.
I did have an inquiry from someone about senior centers, and the transition team that has representatives from all the senior centers are meeting the first and third Wednesdays of every month, starting at 1 o'clock. The next one will be February 1st at the Senior Center, Twin Cities Senior Center. I was asked if other people can attend. These are public meetings. The delegates will be similar to this, they will be at a table that they will be conversing, but there will be an opportunity for public comment on those meetings. So if people want to ask questions, there will be an assigned time that people can engage. I think there was a question that was in the paper about why aren't we doing individual senior centers? At this point, it's everybody together looking at it, and it's not to say that things may change, may be different in PL than Packwood, different than Winlock and Toledo. There's no cookie cutter piece, but all of them are exploring at the same time. And I have to say, at the first meeting, I was impressed. I think it's Elizabeth Hicker came forward, and she had done research, and she had a binder this thick and was ready to roll. But now those senior center folks, delegates, are doing their research. So the next meeting on February 1st will be a good time for folks to hear what other entities are doing in senior centers and the funding of that.
Commissioner Funden, and I'm going to ask a question too on this because I know this has been out there. We are not going to be directly involved with that committee. We're going to be indirectly involved with it, but we will be there when asked. But I know that one of the things that did arrive or that came up that said that, well, this is all county directed. We're basically telling the seniors in this group what they need to do. That is the farthest from the truth. We were there to support, to get the group together And then they're going to come up, they're going to work very diligently, and I was impressed. Bill Marshall stepped up and is going to be the chair for that group of individuals, and he's been very, very civically engaged in this community and this county for a long time. So I was really impressed. And I don't know how Commissioner Jackson felt about it, but we were there, and I learned a lot in a very, very short period of time from those individuals. Any other questions? Susan? Aaron, anything? Okay. I'm not putting anyone on the spot or anything. But Harry.
Harry.
Come on up.
Again, Harry Bagwanden from Onalaska. As people may know, I've been very passionate about tourism as a potential contribution to our rural economy in particular. We've been very thankful again for the work that the .09 funds have allowed us to develop tourism at Carlisle Lake with the funding of the paving and the restroom facilities that we built out there. We're seeing tremendous impact from visitors on that trail. Their use has expanded, and the use in general of Carlisle Lake has expanded. So that's part of our strategy as an unincorporated area to bring visitors out so they can visit our businesses and generate revenue in our local community. Small effort, but it's what we've got. And I want to bring this up because I see that Steve Wald is in the audience, and since this is an open forum to your directors, I would like to have some comment on how Discover Lewis County is played as what I see as a strong and passionate advocate for tourism in rural Lewis County. We have an informal group. It's not incorporated. It's called Tourism Lewis County. We meet every month around the county, and we see that tourism has impacted our county lodging tax funds. I've been working with several groups, and we've been very successful with getting lodging tax dollars. And in working with the Department of Treasury, I noticed that there has been an increase in lodging tax to the unincorporated areas over last year. And it seems to me that it's a significant increase, and I wonder if the Discover Lewis County staff could maybe comment on what those numbers are and what or if any impact that they feel that Discover Lewis County has been doing. And what I want to say is that I want to congratulate Discover Lewis County for the impact it's made on this community, and I think that if the facts were known, people would understand that, in my opinion, the thing that is different is that we have a county website that has been promoting events and adventures for the last year, and we've seen an increase. So do you mind saying something to that effect, like what the numbers are and your role in that?
And what if we say, too, if we're not too sure about numbers, that we come back next week, and this could be on the top of our agenda to talk further? Because I think we're getting new figures in from Department of Revenue, and I'd like to bring those in and bring charts so we have the data. So I can promise you that we will have the data in front of you.
Yes, and I noticed that from November's information, too. So.
Yes, it's very good.
I think I have I met with DOR and the Treasurer's Office last week. This is Steve Wold, Director IT Services, for the record. And October to October, the increase year to year was approximately $66,000 to $67,000 net proceeds to the county. So if you figure that 50% of that is the 2% tax that was collected, and you divide that back out, that puts you between 1.6 and 1.7 million of unincorporated Lewis County lodging revenue increase. Is that the number you're looking for? So I believe that's a October to October 12-month analysis number that was verified by the Department of Revenue last week. So,
Steve,
yes.
we'll have formal presentation on that as far as official documents showing that.
Yeah, yep.
Get out to the medias to show that information.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then to answer your question as far as Discover Lewis County, I think that we are, one of the many cylinders that are running throughout the county. We've got other folks like Destination Packwood, and then, great events like Ride the Willapa, and just lots of other things going on throughout the county that we partner with, and all of that combined with good weather and just people taking advantage of whatever cards were dealt. We've kind of collaborated and worked together, and so I think it is pretty exciting. That number and that increase for folks is probably a pretty big deal. If you're living in one of these rural areas and all of a sudden your economy just in the lodging alone goes up, $750,000 for your take of it, that trend, goes over to the other side of the fence too. You've got your gas stations and your grocery stores and your restaurants. It doesn't include any of those potential impacts, which are hard to argue wouldn't be there if you've got that much more people. So we're hearing good things, a lot of improvement in the Packwood area in particular, and I think that PL is primed for similar experiences here in the future.
And the Facebook likes at this point?
Yeah, so somebody asked me that just this morning. They said, we saw that in your LTAC grant you had 13,000 likes. What is it now? And I looked this morning, it's between 18,600 and 18,700. So just in the last few months, it's continued to climb really well. So we have a lot of followers, a lot of engagement. We did a post about George Washington, the founder of Centralia, who I believe we've learned is Centralia is the largest community in the United States founded by an African American. And so that's pretty cool and something to hang our hat on. And so we did a kind of a community engagement slash interesting blog post about that. And in the first few days, it had reached over 20,000 different people. So, a lot of exciting things going on.
Thank you.
And again, for those of you, we also meet with the mayors the last Friday of each month. Or is it the
First Friday.
First Friday. Just seems like the last Friday, I guess. So the first Friday of each month. So we encourage everyone to attend. And we also have our federal representatives there, the state and local. So it's a wonderful opportunity, and I will tell you this, just hearing from the people at the federal level, Jamie Herrera Butler's representatives, they have never seen anything like that as far as being able to come and just talk to people, and you have all your mayors there of all the communities within Lewis County, and so it's a great opportunity, and they are very appreciative too. There's a lot of work that gets done there. I know that one of the things about, when you want to talk about infrastructure, you get to talk to the person that has the direct contact, that there's some federal opportunities there. So it's very good, and it's been wonderful for me to be able to communicate. It's much easier to have everyone in the room at the same time to get anything done.
Oh, maybe.
Okay, anything else? Commissioner Jackson? Okay, Commissioner Fund? Okay, well, I would like to thank everyone for being here, and have a great day. We're going to have some sunshine, it looks like.
Thank you all.
They came to our inaugural press conference.
Yes, you guys are going to be the point of history.
Yes.
You are invited to immerse yourself in the beauty of nature in all four corners of Lewis County, Washington. From our fields to your table, farms in the west share their bounty. Limitless landscapes, forests and mountains beg to be explored in the east. fish our many rivers and lakes in the South, and discover where history and culture intersect in our Twin Cities. Explore it all by visiting our Facebook page and plan your next getaway at discoverlewiscounty.com. Culture, history, and adventure all come alive when you discover Lewis County.